Well, it was a tricky one. Another one takes off Liverpool in this kind of mad December that they've got. And we'll talk about the possible cost to Lovren in due course. But they're almost like the Liverpool of Klopp's early days, aren't they, Salzburg? It's kind of wild and roller coaster, and you weren't sure that this was going to work out at times.
I think that's where the uncertainty comes from with regards to this fixture, and actually why it's such a good result. Because I think they showed Salzburg in the first game at Anfield, in that second leg, they're dangerous. They throw everything at you. They almost play 2v2 at the back at times, and they just go, right, let's have it. But I think that's the beauty of what Liverpool did. You know, I think, you know, for the last probably 18 months, the front three get all the plaudits, but the realistic kind of nature of it is that their defence and the security of it is what allows that, you know, that forward line to go in and perform the way it did, and it was brilliant again this evening. It
was. That said, certainly in the first half and the early part of the second half, they knocked on the door more than once.
Look, they're a talented side, this Salzburg side. They've got some very, you know, good individuals. This is just great play, and not just that bit there, but that lovely little chop inside as well. Could have done much better, but there was a couple of occasions where if it wasn't Alisson coming to the rescue, Van Dijk was really switched on. You know, look at the numbers that they get forward. You know, Haaland here. This is a tough. You know, it's tough to get that in past Alisson on that particular side. And it was chance after chance at times, but I still class these as half chances. You know, they're not kind of clearly getting in. I think the first one, Alisson comes out and smothers it, yes. Could they have done better with this one? Probably, but they're still, you know, they're not easy chances, you know, to get past Alisson, which is why I think they did well. Probably here he just chooses the wrong option to go towards the near post, but if you have a look, even if he goes across Alisson towards the far post, Lovren's kind of blocking that angle, so he kind of has to go near post in the end, but they're an exciting team to watch. It was end-to-end at times.
Absolutely, yeah. And the rotation at the moment is working really nicely for Klopp. He brings Cater in at the weekend, scores, and then gets another one tonight, and actually played well, didn't he? Suddenly he's a slightly different type of midfielder.
He is. You know, obviously he's not really had that run that I think they would have hoped him to have in the team, you know, since arriving from Salzburg. But, you know, he took his goal very well this evening as he did in the week. He has added a different dimension to their midfield, I have to say. I mean, the changes have come as they have, but, you know, essentially this one's been forced. You know, the loss of Fabinho, I'm guessing Fabinho would have 100% played tonight. But he's taken his chance and he's shown, which I think a lot of the squad have, whether it's Lallana who comes in or Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, they've shown actually we're going to be able to cope with this because they're all ready, they're all on the same page, and they're all good players.
Yeah. Now, Mo Salah had 9 attempts by himself tonight and probably scored the one that was, we were trying to work out how much harder than all the others that one he scores is.
Well, this is...
But let's look at the kind of the misses first, because some of these are... If it wasn't him, you'd be saying, this guy's not much help.
The touch is great, don't get me wrong, but, you know, these are the kind of chances that last year were just going in with ease. This one in particular was a big surprise. I know what he's trying to do, he's trying to keep the eyes and go near post, but how much he misses that by is ridiculous. That's, you know, it's a tougher chance than it probably looks. The positive thing is he's getting into these positions again. I think there's been a couple of weeks where people have looked at Mohamed Salah and feel like he's gone off the boil a little bit. Well, I'll actually look at this and go, you know what? They're coming. The goals are coming again because he's making the right runs, he's getting the chances, and this is just ridiculous. On your weaker side, to have that depth of touch to kind of, you know, another great ball from Jordan Henderson, by the way, who keeps producing these assists out of nowhere. But look at how tight that is. That is so difficult on your right foot, under pressure, at that type of angle, to squeeze that in. But it felt sweet. It's exactly what he needed.
Absolutely, yeah. And it kind of sucked what life there was left out of Salzburg, didn't it? And the problem for Liverpool is Lovren's gone off with what looks like a recurrence of a hamstring problem. Don't know how serious, but they're running out of central defenders, aren't they?
Yeah, I think he flagged it up in the Bournemouth game, and that's why he came off in the early stages. I was surprised to see him start, but it just shows kind of how stretched they are in that department. So, yeah, he's going to have to work some magic. Gomez is going to have to get himself in tip-top condition to be able to go for a run of games, it looks like. Yeah,
price of success, of course, that now means they're going to have even more football in February and March, aren't they, Liverpool? But it goes with the territory now.
It does indeed. It goes with the territory. January's around the window if they need a few more players. Around the corner, sorry, if they need a few more players. But the facts are they're a team that's been successful, so, you know, I'm sure that's the way you'd rather have it.
They're through. That's